maybe once a year if someone passes. if you
Once
know.
a year, no. Twice a year.
Someone dies.
Cry once a year, boys.
How close do they have to be to him?
If you really seriously injured yourself, you know.
Oh no! Don't cry.
What about if he loses his job?
God forbid.
Sorry, man.
You're not forgiven, babe. You can't sit back there, Samuel.
No, I'm gonna move in.
You know what? I feel like in the last video, I feel like you started.
No, I didn't.
Babe,
No, I didn't.
I feel like you started.
You can't win a court case based on. I feel like
when you edit the video, you will see it.
I'll see you, dumbass.
Look how close I am. Look how far away you are.
That just punt you. I'm sorry.
No, you didn't.
Oh.
Your elbow dug into my thigh, but it like tickled. If that makes sense. Like, you know when you bang your funny bone, it doesn't like hurt. Well, it does hurt, but like it kind of tickled at the same time. Whatever. Just say no. What's looking like that? Intro.
Yes. Hello, humans. Today we're recording to we're reacting to people on a podcast talking about men's issues. Let's see how intelligent they are.
I concur.
Thank you.
They'll say that they want these types of men that, you know, to be more emotionally ready.
Oh, the ones that cry all the time. We don't like crying.
You don't want a woman that...
But betas don't cry, do they?
They cry. Okay, can I ask you a question? Can we just settle this once and for all? Do you women want men that cry to you?
Yes. I do not want a man that cannot cry.
Okay.
I'm not saying that doesn't cry. What I'm saying is someone who cannot, as in even when you're feeling upset and you want to cry, because you're that emotionally shut down and that emotionally, like, you're reclusive, that even when you're upset you cannot cry. I don't want someone that's like that.
Okay. But the men on the panel, if I'm speaking for them, they'll probably ask, if you see a man cry in front of you, do you lose attraction?
No.
Because that's what a lot of these guys say.
And for some reason they have this preconception that if you're emotionally available, you're crying at everything. If you're a man that cries, you're crying when someone trips and they fall, or you're crying if you see a Valentine's Day card, you're crying, or like at any little thing you're gonna be crying.
Yeah.
No, that's not what that means.
Because I feel like it doesn't matter whether you're a man or a woman. If you're someone that cries at every little thing that happens, I got blocked off in traffic, or you know what I mean. If you're crying at everything, you have work to do.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
that's a red flag.
Exactly. You know.
But to not cry is also a huge red flag.
I like to see him cry one time at least, but not often.
What, and why would that be?
To show me the fact that very deep inside there is a real human being with a heart. There's a baby in there, but you got it.
And then why don't you want to see him cry again?
Because I think one of us has to have emotional composure, and I'm not gonna lie, I cry a little bit sometimes.
Okay. Because guess what, guys? During crisis, women don't want to see their man cry. They
God
want a strong
forbid.
leadership.
I don't rip my eyes out. First of all, she said, she wants her man to cry one time because deep down, she wants to know that he, what did you say, has a heart, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't want that deep down.
Yeah.
Show me the heart on the surface. I don't want to have to swim through layers of anger and pain and pride and ego to find your heart. Absolutely not. There's not a way. Also, they're saying that, I want a man that's leads and da. So your man can't do both. Why are they two mutually exclusive?
Maybe once a year if someone passes.
Once a year, no.
Twice a year.
Someone dies.
Cry once a year, boys.
How close do they have to be to him?
If you really seriously injured yourself, you know.
No, don't cry.
What about if he loses his job?
God forbid.
Pardon?
What about if he loses his job?
If he loses his job, you better suck it up, mate, and go and find another one. It's just life. You can't be a leader. You can't protect me. Because if you're crying to me, mate, what if 4 men run up in the yard? What are you going to do? Start bawling?
See what I'm not understanding? Just because you're crying at something that's dear to you doesn't mean that in a time of crisis you're not going to be able to protect yourself. I'm not understanding this. And also...
They just see if you cry, you're weak. And if you cry, you're weak in every scenario. That's their bottom line. That's their bottom line.
You can't have someone that is emotionally available, understanding, shows love, is romantic, but then not have them show that type of emotion. So you want them to have all the good emotions.
Yes.
Oh, I love, love you. You know, I want to talk to you. I want you to share with me, but don't cry. You can't have that.
Yeah.
You're trying to build a bear, build a man. Like,
but babe, they don't want that. They want these men that are good alpha males, please. Alpha males that are these staunch I can say bareback. That sounds mad. That sounds mad. But like these like hen leaders who get on with it. They lead and they do what they need to do and they're protectors and providers. They want cavemen.
No, but they also want the emotional side.
Yeah, but I feel like they do, but they don't.
No, they want the I love you. They want, oh, you never say I love you. Oh, you don't touch me. Like, you don't, you're not intimate. Like, you know, how come you never give me flowers? You know what I mean? Like, that's still something that they, because if you go on Instagram and you see,
it's always Instagram.
You see,
socials.
Elizabeth's boyfriend brought in flowers. Why didn't you bring me flowers? You know what I'm saying? So, yes, that's what they might want on the outside. They might say what they want. But then long term, will they still want that? When they're in it, when they've bagged that caveman, they're going to try and change him and say, oh, get me flowers, get me this, get me that. How come you never talk about your emotions with me? But yeah, it doesn't. It's just, it's very
stupid. It's so stupid.
You're setting yourself up for an unhappy life, man.
And then also I say this because if you cannot control your emotions and you're hypersensitive to, you know, crying and things like that, then I'm going to look at the opposite spectrum of how do you deal with your anger then? Are you one of them guys that, oh gosh, someone pissed you off, so you're going to come home and start dashing things at the ceiling? We're not going to do that.
So
hold on. Is crying not a way to regulate emotions?
And isn't crying letting go of that?
That's what I'm saying.
Like, because I'm going to lose it. Because isn't... So you have to say.
You cry... Okay. The reason you cry is because you're overwhelmed with emotions and it's an outlet. Once you cry, it's like a letting go.
It's a release, yeah.
You're saying you want someone that doesn't cry because they won't be able to manage their anger. The way you manage your anger... Because sadness and anger are very closely related. A lot of guys are sad, like, for example, what do they call them? Incels, yeah? Them man are sad because they can't get girls. It turns to anger. Oh, that girl's so fat.
Yeah,
look at her rolls.
Hatred,
you know what I mean? They're so closely connected. And them man, they end up on, what's it called? Like, red pill. Like, they're trying to be like the alphas and whatever. They're on those sites, whatever. Now they're practicing never show a woman your emotions. They're now saying don't ever cry, don't ever let a woman see you cry. And that turns them even more angry. So what you're saying is just backwards.
Because my thing is, what they want is someone who is like, emotionally guarded. That's a wall. So all that emotion of not crying, suppressing, that's gonna turn to them. Because they can't release that emotion, they're gonna turn to throwing things and licking things and maybe licking people. Do you know what I mean?
That's why I said sadness and anger are so related.
Like and I feel like people who are not emotionally intelligent say this kind of stuff because nobody that I've experienced or knows who is emotionally intelligent says these sorts of things. I know what it's like to suppress emotions and it's horrible. Like feeling like you can't get that emotion out, feeling like you're overwhelmed with something but you can't express that. It's horrendous. And why would you then want to, one, go on a public platform and tell this to other people, and two, keep that mindset and then transfer it to your children? So I say therapy is a beautiful thing.
How many guys do you know, like around our age or teenagers, whatever, that guys that say they're daddy's boy? Every guy is a mama's boy.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm trying to buy mama a house. I'm trying to buy. It's never I'm trying to buy dad a house, and that's because we're so disconnected from our fathers. Like I'm not talking about everyone. I'm not generalizing. I'm just, you know what I'm saying. But because we never see that side, whenever it's dad, it's like, you know, are you set financially? Can I, you know what I mean? But it's never like, or it's not as commonly a deep connection, and that's because of stuff like this.
Yeah.
Man. It's because of stuff like this. Yeah.
And when I say things like this, I say, Lord, please, not my pick-me. Not my pick-me.
Yeah, please cry.
One thing, please. If you, for when they, you know, when like people, when children are young and they trip and fall and they say, oh, just don't worry, it's fine. No. If I banged my elbow right now and it hurt, I'm gonna cry. Why do you not expect a little toddler
right
who?
now. If you banged it over right now, you cry.
If it was really hard, really hard, and it hurt to me, like, I'm not gonna raise my child, if I have a son, Lord, if that is the case, that I'm gonna be like, no, don't be tough, be strong, be tough when you want to cry. What kind of stupidness is that?
See, that's where I slightly disagree, and only partly. In order to have a good pain threshold, which you need in this world, there are some things that you have to realize, you know, even though it feels like it hurts, it doesn't hurt. Like, if I stub my toe, you ever stubbed your toe, yeah? And you're like, ah, shoot. And then you actually like just take the pain and you're like, actually, that's not that deep. I feel like we need regulators like that. Sometimes, yes, I fall and it's bad. Okay, feel that pain. You know, everything's going to be okay. I'm going to give you the support you need. But then sometimes we are crying over stuff that we should not be crying over.
But I do think sometimes, though, I understand that, but in a way it's objective, because something that someone else might say is not a big deal could be a big deal to somebody else. But I think if you're taught to, if you are in an environment where you have people that are emotionally intelligent and you grow up in that, like I myself, sometimes I think I'm quite an emotionally intelligent person. I'm not up there, but I feel like the older I'm getting and the more I want to, the easier it is to regulate my emotions.
Okay.
But there is times, because I feel like I'm getting to grips with doing that, there are times when I am kind of thinking, Chana, you're doing a bit too much. Just take a minute. Do you know what I mean? But I've cried and I've been like, oh, this is not, it's not that deep. But it's because I feel like I've I'm just like I've gone through that process. I'm trying to say, does that make sense?
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
See, so how I would connect our 2 points, right, is I think it shouldn't be, I still stand by what I said, as in sometimes maybe don't cry at that, like maybe you are overreacting, but I don't think it's like toughen up. I think it's how you feeling, express how you're feeling. Why does this hurt?
What's happening?
Let's
what's
talk
really
about
going
it.
on? Yeah,
Exactly.
what's the source?
Because I stubbed my toe. The reason it doesn't hurt anymore, like the reason I'm like, oh, maybe I overreacted, is because I'm actually processing it, and I'm like, okay, it's almost like a vibration when you stub your toe. It's like it's like your toe is vibrating.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
But like, that's not pain. The vibration is just like an uncertainty. It's like, okay, what's really going on? And then when you clock, you're like, okay, it's just a bit of a sharp little pain.
Yeah.
Or injections, they're not really that bad. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I think regulation and processing properly is important. Yeah.
If a man cries too much, then you may think that because he can't control his emotions, that he may
Be abusive.
Wow.
That's actually interesting because it's true.
If a
They
man
think they think she just put bars.
might drop,
They think, yes. They're like, oh my gosh, wow, mind blowing. So what were you gonna say? You said if a man
cries too much, he might be abusive.
Yeah, apparently.
If a man cries too much, and by the way, let's put this into perspective. They're saying too much is more than twice a year.
Yeah, but they're calling men that cry simps. But how? I never heard someone say that simp is abuse. I thought simps meant to be wusses.
Yeah. So
how do we go from a simp man that cries so much to being I don't.
You think the guy that cries more than twice a year is the abusive one, not the guy that, because of societal expectations and toxic masculinity, right? He believes he can't shed a tear, so he bottles it up. You believe that's not that one? I should go for. Let me not go for.
That's what they believe. That's exactly what they believe. Yeah.
You can see the type of man that she wants, right? But when she gets him, everyone's gonna feel sorry for her. but she's manifesting that man that she's speaking. So I will, even me too, I feel bad for her. Like when I see her crying because of something that happened with that man, God forbid, I'm not wishing that on you. I'm not trying to wish that on anyone. But when that happens, everyone's gonna be saying thoughts and prayers, and they're gonna be sympathetic. This clip here, you're manifesting that.
I feel like in situations like where crying is not going to do anything. Like you said, if I lose my job and you start crying, if there's no money in the crib, crying is not a solution to the problem. Do you get what I'm saying?
Crying is not a solution, it's an outlet. No one on this earth cries. If someone dies and I'm crying, it's not going to bring them back to life.
Nope.
I'm not crying for a solution. It's because I feel the type of... If I lose my job tomorrow, let's say, Jerome, if I worked at, I don't know, some place that I just wanted to, as a waitress, just like a get by job, I didn't really care about it, it's whatever, and I lost it, it's okay. But if it's a job that I was passionate about, I loved my job, I love my colleagues, love my workplace, my manager, I love the company, and I lost it, yeah, I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna, as someone who I think I regulate my emotions, I'm gonna cry. I might take an afternoon, shed my tears.
But you should.
And then tomorrow, I can look for a job. Crying's not a solution. It's not built to be a solution.
No, it's not.
Oh my god! Do you think that you can't cry because I'm not solving a problem? What kind of stupidness is that?
You know what I'm getting from this video? You see these two guys here, yeah? This is how they appear. Masculine, alpha, whatever. I don't think they appear that way, I'm gonna be honest. But like that's what they're trying to portray, right? Like, and it's kind of weird to say it this way, but these men are oppressed. They are oppressed.
I get it.
Do you get what I'm saying? I get it. Like, they are oppressed.
I get it.
And this whole masculine image, like, guys desperately want the approval of women and the approval of other men. Right?
Absolutely.
And this is insecurity.
Absolutely.
This is pure insecurity, right? And the mad thing is, if they were to watch our video, they'll say, insecure where? I'm not insecure. That's how deep rooted the insecurities are. And it's actually sad. It's a lot of people will be angered by them, but it's actually just sad.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I don't even know where the oppression stems from, because it could be self-inflicted, as in men oppressing other men. It could be women oppressing. I feel like one of them is following suit. Either the women or the men, right?
There's experiences that I felt that I've been like, wow, this is not like almost on the verge of tears, because I'm like, this is amazing. I feel so content and satisfied, and I'm fulfilled, and I'm really enjoying myself. If I was someone who wore a bit up, I'd be like, yeah, it's good. And I won't allow myself to feel properly, because I'm trying to keep that strong, protective wall up. Do you know what I mean? I'm like, you're missing out on so much that life has to offer because you want to have portray that you're this type of way and have that kind of mindset. It's just...
Even like music, like you'll clock a lot of men will say, you'll play them like an R&B song or a gospel song or even a pop song, whatever, and they'll have no reaction to it, or they'll be like, oh, turn it off. But it's because what those songs represent is like positivity, you know. It represents like freedom of emotion, you know. So even though they'll say turn it off, it sounds dead, what they mean is, I want to feel what's in this song, but I can't.
Yeah.
Like, I truly feel that's how deep rooted it is. Like, it might sound like I'm just chatting, but honestly, I've seen it. Like, I'll be in a car with man, and people will put on, I don't know, like, what's an example? Mariah Carey, I don't know.
Okay.
Like, they'll put on a happy sounding song, and people will be like, oh, turn that off, that's dead. And what they're listening to, drill music, violence. It's because we're not connected to this side, because of stupid stuff like this. You know?
I think, for me, as you guys were speaking, I was thinking about, when do I think it's okay for him to cry? One, child, when your baby is born. Yeah. I think it's okay to cry, because it's like, that's your baby. Yeah. That's okay. I understand.
Why would you cry when your baby's born?
Because it's so emotionally overwhelming. He doesn't have children.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
And
Don't do me like that.
You know what's happening right now? There's a woman on this cast that's given these men the scenarios in which it's okay for them to cry, right? And these guys are in agreement with her because they think it will make them more masculine. would the masculine thing not be to not allow a woman to determine what's the okay times? She's basically governing your emotions, and you're following her because it's masculine. But really, this is just an example of how guys will fall into unhappiness in pursuit of women.
Yeah, like, I get it. Yeah.
The reason why I just want to explain this is because women don't understand. You lose something inside of you when a man cries to you. You think that you want a man to cry to you. You think that you do. But have you seen what you look like when you cry, bro?
Yeah,
what he's saying right now is not completely false, because there are women who lose complete attraction when guys cry. Like that is.
I've seen posts about it. Yeah, Reddit posts,
like
Instagram posts.
As much as we're talking from a healthy mindset, there are a lot of girls that will actually not want to see a man cry.
Yeah.
So you can see why they have these insecurities. Yeah. Like, I'm not just trying to say, oh, you guys have insecurities, get better. Like, they're just a symptom of the issue.
I want to just put this out there and just say that this is not about me telling men that they shouldn't cry. This is not about me saying that men, they cannot be emotional. This is not about that. I'm not saying that, okay? So I don't want people to feel like that. Every man should have their own kingdom, castle, and their own queen, and their own, you know what I mean? Their kids, and then they go home, and that's really what it's about. It's not easy being a man, you know.
It's not easy being a man.
I wouldn't want to be a man.
Also, the takeaway shouldn't be don't cry because you won't find a woman or you can't let your woman cry. It should be look for a woman that is still there for you, even if you do cry. You're saying, like, it's like you're just giving up.
Because I think it's mad to generalise that women are going to lose respect. That all women will lose respect for their partners if they see their partners cry. Because personally speaking, I think because I know that we live in a society where men, and I want to say, because I'm of the community, that black men are told not to cry. If I then see a man who breaks down from having that mindset and cries in front of me, I'm thinking, wow, I feel so honoured. Do you know what I mean? That he feels that it's a safe space. That if you cry in front of me, I think, wow, that's a safe space that you can feel like, okay, the world may say whatever, but I know that if I'm feeling extremely vulnerable to the point that I'm just just gonna lose it. Tears is gonna come out, and I'm the person that you cry to. I feel honoured. I'm not gonna thinking,
this guy's weak. He hit me like. Let me leave him tomorrow because man, she said it. I can't tell no man that cries. I'm not
feeling that way. I think it's really. I think it's horrible to generalize all women and think that women. I do think like our society and the generation that we live in. I know that sort of mindset is common, but it's not. It's not all women that think that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're truly doing this right, your woman should be home.
Yeah, for sure.
You know them corners of your mind where no one else knows about, like, you know, you're home alone, and those thoughts that come in that you don't ever express. Like, that's what your woman should represent, like, like home, you know.
Your sanctuary, your safety.
Exactly. Yeah. Like, you want to be one with her, right?
Yeah.
If you're hiding all emotion, because you know what that represents? If you're hiding all emotion, you're never home.
Yeah.
You're never home.
You're never safe. You're never free. Yeah.
These are men.
Yeah.
Like, these are men older than us. Like, they're probably like, what?
In their 30s.
In their 30s.
Yeah.
And they're talking like traumatized children.
Boys.
This guy has a child.
Yeah.
He has a son. And it's just the cycle being perpetuated.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Anyway, guys, thank you for watching. Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Is it okay for a man to cry? When's the last time you cried? What did you cry about?
When's the last time you cried?
Oh, the last time I cried. That's a good question. When's the last time I cried? I want to say when my cousin died. I'm just not much of a crier, but I don't see anything wrong with crying at all. Like, I regulate my emotions in a different way. You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes I'll cry, don't get me wrong, but I don't need to there's ways to let go. There's other ways to let go. I face my issue head on. The only thing is that tears don't materialize, you know what I mean? So, yeah. Maybe there's deep-rooted issues in that, and I'm still going to figure that out, but I'm open to figuring that out. Don't get me wrong.
That's what's important.
I'm open to figuring that out.
That's what's important. Yeah.
I'm not. Yeah, I know myself. I just don't cry. Like that's what I think, but I'm still figuring out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
You're gonna ask me when I last cried.
Oh yeah, when did you last cry, little nigga?
I'm different though, because I cry. I think I'm easily more prone to reaching that vulnerable side of me. But I don't. This is the thing. I don't always cry when I'm sad.
Okay.
I cry when I see something really wholesome and joyful. Last time I can remember crying was when I told you the video. There's a video that I saw, and it was this man who was deaf who was being baptized. And do you remember I told you, he said he went down to so many different churches, him and his mum, and people went baptize him because they said that he didn't fully understand what was happening.
Okay.
I don't know why they equated being deaf to having some sort of and then he got baptized by a minister, and like his mum had witnessed it. It was so beautiful. Like he jumped, like he got in the water, he was just screaming. It was so beautiful. They were all like this with their hands. It was so beautiful. Yeah, that's a lot. I think that's what I remember crying.
Okay.
It was really nice. But I cry. I have like tears of joy about stuff like that. Yeah.
All right, thank you guys, and thanks for watching. Make sure you like, comment, and
I thought I say comment.
Oh yeah, like,
comment,
and subscribe. Peace.